Welcome back to episode 11 of the Closing Time Podcast. I'm Brian Prawl, and we have Travis Blayton over here. And we talk a lot about wealth accumulation through home ownership and then other ways that you can accumulate wealth. And we were just talking a little bit before this about not just how we do that or what we do in order to start on that journey, but the why and the impact we have. And Travis had some good thoughts on that. So I was just going to open it up to you. Like, what are your thoughts on why somebody should care about wealth accumulation as it pertains to what we're talking about?
Yeah, you forgot to mention I think we're still in season 1 of the Closing Time Podcast, but I think building wealth and investing correctly and more so the jobs that we do is important. It is our whys. I want to afford selfishly first my kids to have a better opportunity growing up and more opportunities later on in life by the wealth and work and investments that I've done, but also to have an impact on our communities and those around us. I know it's always a big focus of ours. We've always had the vision of our employees having a better life and more opportunities by what we do. And that's more important to us, I think, than the income that we derive from what we do, is the impact that we can have on them and their families. But that's the sole reason. I think I was telling Levi earlier, I don't have a job. I get to wake up every morning and do what I love to do, and that permeates to everybody around me.
I mean, I grew up in a household where the goal was to make money, accumulate money, that kind of thing. But it wasn't to accumulate more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, money doesn't buy happiness. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Money does not buy happiness. What money does will amplify your mindset. So if you are a selfish, greedy, negative type of person, having more money is going to make you more of that. If you are a good person who wants to give back and who wants to have a positive impact on the people around you, having more wealth accumulated will allow you to do more of that, right? So money is freedom, but it also allows you, assuming you're the goodness, you're good,
right?
It allows you to be better. Like, I noticed, if you're religious or just charitable, or if giving is a part of your life choices, you have an ability to give more, having more.
That's
right. So it starts from us personally. We need to work really hard, do a really good job, impact lives through our loan process and all of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. The end result of which is, if I help enough people, I earn more money. And if I have more money, I can give back to more people. And so it's a virtuous cycle.
It is, absolutely.
And it's important. And I think a lot of people, and I can tell you personally from my experience, I didn't have that mindset early in my career. My motivation early was selfish. 100%. I'm not even really embarrassed to say it. It's just, I didn't have anything and I wanted something. And so
I think or not everybody, most people start there.
Yeah. And I think that's okay. Like, you do exercises in our industry, and I'm sure other industries in general, where you do like these workshops and these conferences, and everybody talks about, you got to get to your why. I was always mortified to say, I want to be wealthy. My why is that I want to have stuff. I want to be able to accumulate money. And when I really dive into it, it really isn't like, I'm not a car guy. I'm not buying brand new sports cars. I'm not a boat guy. I don't have a boat. My wife really does want me to get a boat. So at one point I'll probably have a boat.
Watching you try to navigate a water vessel will be hilarious.
The navigating the water vessel will be fine. The backing the trailer down on a crowded boat ramp, I'm a little bit concerned about. So
your wife can do that for you.
I need to have a lake house where I can just dock it in the backyard, and then I don't have to worry about it. Right? So I do. I think it's okay to have your motivation be, you want to accumulate for yourself. At some point, though, when is enough? And for the record, I'm not at enough yet. I don't know what enough is going to be. I'm still motivated that way, but I also have the ability to give back. What I've noticed personally is that in good income years, I'm able to give a lot more. Sometimes it's not 10% and I'm not doing good enough in charitable giving. And sometimes it's well in excess of that.
Right.
And if you find places that you know can be impacted positively by your giving, that's a good motivation to have to earn more money, right? Like locally here, Mission Lexington is a great organization. I love giving to them because I believe in their mission. I believe what they do, and I think they do a really good job. If you're like, I give to the church a lot. Like
Yeah.
you can do more with more, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me ask you a question. Has your why changed as you either became wealthier or as you aged?
A lot of things have changed with both of those things. Yes.
Okay. So what about your why, or you can ask the question in a different way, I guess, is what is your enough change? How has that changed
Well, if you
over
would have
the
asked
course?
me 20 years ago, I'll date myself. I'm 45 years old. If you would have asked me at 25, before I even got into the mortgage business, like if what my net worth number was now would have been enough, I would have told you a third of it would have been plenty.
Right.
Yeah. So that number, my number of how much I want has changed. The thought process that I have now that I have children has changed my why and what I want to do longer term. So yeah, a lot of that has changed. At the core of it though, my motivational drive is still my competitive nature. Like I just want to win, but I want to win the right way, right? I mean, I don't want to cheat to win.
And
I,
you want to win for the right reasons because of the impacts of winning of those around you. Like you've taught me that is if you have the right mindset and the right belief system, the more that I win, the more the people around me win too. Rising tide floats all boats kind of mindset.
100%. And I think it's important. I think I don't know. I do struggle with this still, as you can tell. I mean, I'm struggling to find my words right now on how to word this in a way that really encapsulates my true feelings on it. Lauren, my wife, will tell you all the time that you're so competitive. The other day, I was playing Mario Kart with my daughter and her boyfriend. Like, do you think I wasn't wanting that? Of course,
I've never allowed my kids to win
I,
anything, and I never will.
and I think that's fine too. I like winning, but as it pertains to our career choice, we're blessed in that we get to win by helping more people win.
Mm-hmm.
I perform at a higher level when my team is financially secure and doing the things that I talk about on podcasts with you and in our videos and stuff like that. Like I win when I can point to a young person we have on our team, Maddie, who's incredible, just bought her first house. Like that's a win for her. She's 21 years old. That's incredible. She's really young. She's 15, 18 years younger than the average first time home buyer right now. She is on the path to accomplishing the goals that we talk about teaching to our clients and our employees. Like she's winning. Like everybody around us, if we do better and perform at a higher level, they benefit from it. If in no other way that they get to witness us performing at a high level and emulate the behavior.
Yeah. Well, and that was kind of where my question was going, right? Because our like you, my why initially started out being as I want to have money for comfort and for stability and for because I'm kind of bougie and like nice things, and um, it 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 turns in as I've grown as I've gotten older. I'm younger than you, thank goodness. I'm still below 40. Um, but as I've gotten older, it's I want to still gain more wealth, still gain more money, still gain more income, but not for security of selfishness within me. It's what kind of like what you said, what impacts can I have with that money? And and building a team out that helps us, what then can we give of our time to help others and coaching or in whatever that might be, volunteer hours or whatever, um, it allows having the wealth allows us to have or generate more opportunity time to have impact on those around us.
Yeah, and I struggle with that too. I one of the things I think about and embarrassingly have yet to really act on is the hours, the volunteer hours. Yeah, our coach, the owner of our coaching group, Rick Ruby, he says and is known for saying, you either go on missions or you fund missions. One of those two things. Like you, it's a requirement in our group that we are charitable.
Correct.
And it's not that anybody is fighting that. Like people want to be charitable. That's one of the core values of the group that we're a part of. And so for me, I'm not, and I might at some point. I have yet to take a trip and go on a mission trip somewhere and impact a local community outside of where we are. But I can write a check. I can help somebody who doesn't have the funds available to do that and go provide the impact. And that's, I wouldn't say equal. I think it's probably better to be on the mission. I don't know if it's better or not.
Uh,
It's not within my personality to really
yeah.
want to take time away from here because you know as well as I do in our business, we have a constant flow of business coming in and our sales cycle is long. Like if you don't know anything about buying a house, it takes 30 to 45 days to get a mortgage accomplished. Like our average turn time is pretty low, but like typically contract to close is going to be 30 days.
But the process oftentimes starts much sooner than that. You may apply for a loan, get pre-approved, and then you're trying to find a house. You're looking at different houses, different price points, that sort of thing. So we're constantly updating numbers and that sort of thing. So it can be 90, 120,
It could be
months.
years.
Yeah.
But I guess the point I was trying to make is it becomes very difficult for us to take a month and just go somewhere and help.
A month, a week.
Right. Right. And so if I can't do that, given the career choice that I made, I want to have the ability to fund somebody being able to do that kind of thing. I also want to, like you mentioned, give my children's opportunities that I may or may not have had or taken advantage of. I want their children to be taken care of. Like when you get into the point where, like when you really get into wealth accumulation and what it can mean, like you can leave 3 or 4 generations behind you, opportunities that you may not have had.
No.
And so I think it's a fun concept to think about. Who knows if I'll ever accumulate enough to leave 4? I mean, I don't know if I will or not, but if I do, that's a really cool goal to have.
Well, and I don't want people to think that we're trying to raise spoiled brats. By what I'm meaning better opportunity for our kids. Like my kids will hopefully want to go to college. I don't necessarily believe that you have to go to college to be successful, but they will have their college paid for, but not when they go to college. They'll take out all the student loans, they'll have to work a job, they'll struggle, and then a year after they graduate, when they've been paying their student loans for 12 months, I'll write a check to pay them off. But that's an opportunity because they don't have the ball and chain of student loan debt that a lot of people have. And so I think that's what we mean in better opportunities. I wanted to make that comment for the haters that'll be in the comment section.
We do get some haters, don't we?
Yeah, it's been quite fun in the comment section. I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I think that we have the ability to teach that to other people, and that's one of the reasons why we started a podcast and that we have, mastermind groups. I know you've been doing that. You're upstairs doing that when I got here this morning. Is trying to help people develop their why and learn these processes and that sort of thing.
I look at it in multiple sections too. Like I've got my family and I want to have an impact there. I've got my employees. I want to have an impact there.
Right.
I've got my referral partners. I want to have an impact there. I've got my clients. I want to have an impact there. And then you've got your friends and social circle. And if you can put yourself in a position where you can impose knowledge that you have that other people might not have, I think it's a responsibility at this point. I don't think it's a choice you should be able to make or not make. I think it's a responsibility.
Oh yeah. I mean, we are coached and therefore I think we should go out and coach others. I mean, I think it's we're taught that in the Bible, right? Like you know, you should go out and give your testimony to other people so that they can learn and have the knowledge that you believe in and have.
I mean, I really do struggle with this because if I'm really looking at myself in the mirror, I don't feel I have the skill set required in order to impart. Like I'm still learning. I'm still accumulating. I'm still figuring it out.
Right.
I'm not paid as a coach because I'm not good enough to coach.
Right.
And then simultaneously I can say, okay, well, I know that I've gotten farther than a lot of people have, and especially younger people that I work with or younger people that I'm helping that are clients trying to buy a house. And so even though I'm not there, I know that I'm on the way, somewhere on the journey to get to whatever level that
You're
is.
on the right path, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope. I think. I hope so. But I don't know, and I feel undeserving to impart wisdom on people because I don't feel wise.
But oftentimes it's not imparting wisdom, it's having enough knowledge and confidence to start the conversation. I think that's the largest step is I know in our this is just an example in our coaching group, like you were in the core before me, right? And it is normal and customary for people within our coaching community to discuss their income.
Very weird. I mean, it was
And
very weird having joining that.
and you walk into the room and the first question is, so how much do you make last year? It's like, kiss my ass, kind
Because
of.
we were all raised in a way that that's a very private,
Right.
personal.
And so, but by starting that conversation, though a weird way, odd way to start the conversation, you learn from all these other people on what they're doing and what's working for them, and these are all highly successful, wealthy, or becoming wealthy individuals. Um, just starting the conversation sometimes is more than most people will do or feel comfortable in doing.
It's weird. I still find it a little uncomfortable, but in our world, when you're specifically to the coaching, specifically to the core, or what I'm talking about, you're in a room with everybody that does the same thing as you. So really, the only way to keep score is your income, right? So it's just a matter of, okay, well, if you scored more points than me, I should learn from you, and that's the point of it. Like it's not some embarrassing thing. It's not to make you feel bad. It's to legitimize the person who's coaching you.
Yeah. Well, and the competitiveness. Like my group now, um, those of you that don't know, our coaching semesters are half years. Um, and so we start a new semester in January, and um, one of the individuals on my call, her income was 6.5 times mine.
6.5 times.
Yeah, it was a
Get your
lot.
get your weight up, son.
We, and that's kind of how you start the call is what'd you make last year, and of course she was last, and so the others of us on the call were like,
Puffing your chest out a little bit until she
yeah,
went. Yeah.
and then but then it's like, all right, tell me how, like how can I learn from you? How can I apply that to my business? How can I apply that to my wealth building strategies? Because she does more than just the mortgage industry. Um, but that, again, having that odd conversation kind of started that thinking of what additional can I do? Am I doing enough? Because we struggle with that all the time. Are we are we doing enough in the mortgage industry? Are we doing enough at home? Are we
Oh,
doing enough.
and when I'm doing enough in the mortgage business, I'm not doing enough at home, and it's one of those. It's really tough. I think I don't know if it's harder for me than anybody else. It feels harder for me than what most people deal with on where I apply my focus and my time. And you've got to win in all three. That's the first thing Rick said to me was you've got to win in all three areas of your life every single month, every single day. Like you can't slack off in one to be better in another. And so that's something that I'm continually focusing on, but it's hard. I mean, when I feel like I spend more time at home, I feel like I'm not impacting an employee like I should, or by, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when I'm here for extra hours, my kids and my wife don't get enough energy from me. And I got to figure that out at some point. At some point, hopefully we do an episode where I say I've figured it out.
I don't know that we will ever figure that out. I was in a conversation with Maddie earlier. I was like, it just happens that way sometimes. I mean, I'm giving back to my community. I help run the baseball league. I've got a 2 month old at home that I didn't get to see at all yesterday, but for like 30 minutes in the morning. Like, that's not cool. But it happens sometimes, and it's a balancing act. And the scales move, and we have to be willing to move with it. I don't know that we'll ever figure out all three, how to balance them at the same time. I don't know that that exists. I'm sure somebody has it figured out, but
If they do, I wish they would impart their wisdom upon me. Back to your original question, because you asked me something about how can we have more of an impact talking, and I still struggle with the fact that I don't know that I have earned the right to teach you how to be better or how to accumulate wealth or how to do whatever. But I still do believe that I am further along than some people. So as far as how to do it more, you've got to find people that would value the information and trust you that what you're doing is the right way. How do you do that? I don't know. Call them, ask them. I really don't know. So in our world, we can have an impact on referral partners that we deal with, right? So employees is a little bit easier because they're captive. They're
yeah.
here with us every day. You can have a snippet of a conversation with like, hey, did you do your budget last month? Hey, have you saved for the house that you told me you wanted to buy? Have you done XYZ? Realtors or referral partners in general are less captive and are busy doing their own thing. They have careers. They're trying to generate business. So in that realm, if you can find a group where you just say, hey, I've developed a skill set in this area. Would you be interested in hearing some of the concepts that I apply to my life? Anybody that gives you any semblance of a yes is somebody that you should get into a room. Because from our world, we want to generate referrals from our agents.
Correct.
And if we can prove that we're worthy of that by helping you in certain areas of your life or becoming more of a partner to you, not just because we're good at doing loans, but because I care about you enough to try to impact your financial life in the long run, then maybe we can help you at the same time generate more business for ourselves.
It has to go both ways. It has to be relational, not transactional. I think that's from a referral source, referral partner side of things. I mean, we have to enjoy doing life together. Um, I mean,
Yeah,
for
and we get coached on that. I can't, I don't have time to be friends with all my agents.
no, I mean, it's not about like let's hang out every day, but you have to have some sort of commonality in what you believe and what you're doing and how you run your business, how you live your life, how you treat your spouse, how you raise your kids for something to to have lasting long-term impacts. I don't think you could take be in a relationship, professional relationship with a referral partner that you're just complete opposites on everything.
I agree with that.
I mean, so I think that's kind of what you're looking for, and to have an impact on your referral partners and stuff like that, or in your community. I think it's being comfortable talking about your why and what kind of your story. Why is this important to me? Why do I want to do this? Um, for example, back to Maddie and I were talking earlier. You know, why I give my time away from work for the baseball league. When my dad died when I was 9, I was angry at the world. I luckily was drafted to a baseball team that the coach taught me how to take my anger out on the baseball field versus everybody else around me. Like that's a that that's a why moment. Like I cannot ignore the baseball league in the city that I live in because it probably saved me from being an asshole kid. So if I can have an impact on one kid over 40 years of being involved in a city baseball league, which I will, that's having a positive impact.
Do you ever think about this? This is so off our topic. I apologize.
That's
But
okay.
do you ever think about like that why you called it a why moment? Do you ever think about how different your life could end up being with
Oh,
any one decision that was different throughout
absolutely.
your
Hey,
40-ish years of growing up?
it, it, I think you have to under to even start to understand who you are and why you are the way that you are. You have to look at those things because challenges, hardships, challenges mold us more than wins. I think it's Tim Grover says like, or maybe it was Michael Jordan who he was coaching at the time was said that when you're at the peak of your win, it's like such a short moment in time that by the time you come down from the win, you kind of forgot what the win is. I think you remember like the lows more than you do. And so I think you learn more for those. But yes, I think about that. Like if Grover Johnson was that coach, if he was not there and I was drafted to that team, I'm probably
Like, are you just a drug addict in the side
I
of the
don't
road
know.
somewhere, like a homeless
I don't
loser?
know. I mean, it was a tragic event for my dad. It wasn't like, oh, he got sick. It was like, oh, bye, dad. And then get a phone call. He's no longer with us. It was like not like a expected thing. So yeah, I mean, and that can go for so many things. Man, that's a good question. But
Like, what if I grew up in Georgia. I went to a small school in South Carolina and I played baseball, right? So I played college and baseball in South Carolina. What if I didn't? What if I stayed in Georgia and just went to the University of Georgia and was a student? Do I meet my wife? Do my kids exist? Do I have a mortgage career? Do you and I know each other? Am I successful? Am I not? Like, I don't know the answer. And so but I think about it sometimes. Like, I'm very lucky and blessed and happy that all of the things have come together to put me where I am today.
and it happens for a reason.
I think so.
Um, man, that's a crazy question. It is off the cuff, but we could talk forever on that. I think.
Yeah, we got to probably wrap this episode up at this point. We started with why wealth accumulation is important, and we ended it with some philosophical, deep question that has no impact on our business at all.
But I think to the the answer of the question of the podcast is why wealth accumulation is important is the impact that we can have on other people.
I think it's the freedom that it allows for yourself to make decisions that are better. So
God, that's way better than I just put
I
that.
don't think it is. I think it's just different. I think when you're under financial stress, your decision making ability is not as good as it is when you're not financially stressed. And so you're able to more clearly think through the outcomes of the decisions that you're going to make from a better position.
Yeah.
And so financial security is important for that reason. And then in addition to that, the impact that you can have on the people around you becomes better and bigger. And so I think both of those things are not, I don't think it's that's better. I don't think my answer was better than yours. I think that they're just two slightly different variations of the same answer. And I think that I gotta just compliment you. I think that you do a really good job of practicing what you preach when it comes to this. You are extremely involved in your community. You are well known, well liked. You do have an impact. And so whatever you're doing, I need to emulate a little bit. And I'm proud of you, man. It's cool.
Well, you say that, but when you look at our company, it's what we preach and what we've done and why our teams are so strong, and that's been a leadership from you from the top from day one. It is having a culture that cares about each other, about our community, about our families. I mean, that's something you breathe into us every day, which is pretty cool.
It feels weird
It
being
does.
so
We just
invested because
complimented each other.
I don't like.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up episode 11 of the Closing Time podcast. We would love to read in the comments, what your why is that you've wanted to build wealth, or what you've learned from hard things in life or that sort of thing. We'd love to read that if you want to drop us a comment. And we will catch everybody on episode 12.